ladies and gentlemen, flutes in the chat, because it is time for everybody's favorite segment, and it is called Dave Meltzer's Dumb Moment of the Week.
This just in, we have confirmed that Dave Meltzer fears PWT and flutes.
So Switchblade posted some numbers here. AEW All Out peaked at 2.1K live viewers on YouTube last night, down 60%, Bryan, from Forbidden Door, which peaked at 5.2K and is more in line with the 1.3K that Slammiversary did. So Double or Nothing did 6.6. All In did 9.6. I think I called that earlier. Forbidden Door 5.2K. Why is this important? Because Dave doesn't really ever talk about these YouTube numbers because he doesn't understand them. But essentially, if you're in the chat during a pay-per-view, YouTube's the number one streamer. Like, you've likely bought that pay-per-view. You know what I mean? And I don't know if anybody's buying pay-per-views for that Tony Khan announcement about the tag titles or whatever, but hey. Yeah, so this, there was zero hype on this pay-per-view. And Dave and Bryan try and spin it like WWE got taught a lesson or something, and we're going to listen to it and react to it and watch it all right here. So Dave Meltzer said the AEW show was outstanding, Bryan. So here is their review of All Out.
Bryan. The AEW show was outstanding. I was pretty disappointed in the WWE show. Not that it was bad, but I just thought that for a first show on ESPN, I just thought it was just like, you know, like it was just a B show, you know.
Now, if you guys, I went in depth with this with Alfred Konuwa as well, because, you know, he's a writer for Forbes. And so I talked to him about like Andreas Hale and how he's like leans sicko direction, right? But I'm like, it doesn't trigger me, man. In fact, they should let him keep reviewing, you know, for ESPN. Who cares? He rated WrestlePalooza C. And it's so funny because right before that, I played the clip of Dave and we laughed at it already on the show. But when Dave was like, oh, it's like separating church from state. It's like Russian media, Bryan. It's just fake news now. It's all, you know, the state of media is horrifying, Bryan. And then the rest, ESPN grades their own to see. You know, it couldn't have blown up in Dave's face more. It's so funny. Always let fools make fools of themselves.
I mean, one of my rules was always, I never watch WWE after I watch New Japan because it always looks so soft and slow.
Dude, that's his rule. It's always just soft and slow. Yeah, that's why Ibushi, Shibata, Omega, Osprey, they're all like neck injury, body injuries. They can't walk, and because your way's better, Dave. The WWE way is not more entertaining to more people because they're not a shark brain monster like you.
It was always, I never watch WWE after I watch New Japan because it always looks so soft and slow if you watch it after. It's not like it's bad. I didn't like not enjoy any match on the WWE show, but they were just like, they couldn't match the other stuff. But in a way, it's like the crowd was there and the crowd saw it as a big deal.
On the first ESPN show,
the crowd saw it as a big deal. Dude, it was a big deal. Okay, it just didn't live up to the hype, even of like the Netflix Raw. Okay, it just didn't, unfortunately. You win some, you lose some. They're talking like AEW blew them away. There was like 12 too many matches on the AEW show.
Don't think you should have run a story-heavy show. You might have a lot. Like, I went over to my sister's house. My brother-in-law is watching. He never watches wrestling. He's watching this show. And he's watching.
Here's the thing, man. The story-heavy show, you do that to get people really invested and to go, oh, I have to see what happens next, and I got to get ESPN to do it. So I get that, like, you don't understand that because you guys are stupid and don't understand how this business works. But again, it's like the bottom line, bro. Come on. They want people invested and to go, I need to watch more because I'm invested in these characters. You can't just only do that with wrestling and lighting people on fire.
The AJ match, he's bored out of his...
And chaining people up in your basement, forcing them to watch Collision.
Fine. He's like, oh my God, this match is never ending. And it's like, that's not, I don't think... the show that you should have given the first time on ESPN should have been more just boom, boom, boom. Some more exciting matches. Don't tell stories that have been told on TV for 6 weeks. You might have new people. I just kind of felt
you might have new people, so just do matches. Oh, you mean like AEW's done and they've fallen off a cliff? Bryan, you're trying.
Bryan.
But not in the right way, dude.
Like it was way more storytelling oriented than usual. And I don't like that for a first show.
I love storytelling. I just thought
you fucking liar. Oh
poor people don't like AEW.
Dave, I love storytelling, Brian.
The matches were average.
Oh boy, oh boy. So ESPN graded WWE WrestlePalooza C. And it's just funny. I just wrote Dave Meltzer having a meltdown about how it's all a conspiracy and WWE ESPN will control the media and everything's changed. And they rate their own shit a C. I think that's the funniest thing ever. So moving along here, Meltzer said what the GOAT says. Alvarez knows it was not Nick Khan who said Tiffany Stratton was hurt. He specifically discussed this on Saturday night's Wrestling Observer Radio with Dave. So El Plethora says, I think Nick Khan claimed it was pulled because they ran out of time. Nick Khan or agent Nick Lopiccolo. Alvarez knows it was not Nick Khan. Yeah, I think it was Nick Lopiccolo who said that Tiffy was being, or I don't even know if he said that. I don't know, to be perfectly honest. All I know is that I'm going to trust whatever Meltzer said, what is putting down here. So it was believed that Stratton was to wrestle Jade Cargill and Nia Jax at a 3-way at WrestlePalooza. However, this match is now scheduled for Friday SmackDown. Alvarez said, I think Nick Khan claimed that it was pulled back because they ran out of time. Tiffany was hurt. I presume she's going to wrestle on Friday. It was not pulled because, etc. And here's, I guess here's Meltzer said what, pulling his card and saying, no, dude, you lied in your shit.
All right, we got one more show to talk about, which is the anniversary show.
One thing we should talk about is the 3-way that'll, in theory, be on SmackDown on Friday was supposed to be on the show tonight. And so there's different stories. What I will tell you is
this would be Tiffany Stratton, Jade Cargill, and Nia Jax.
Right. So Thursday, I was told that the match will be on if Tiffany Stratton is cleared. And then on Friday,
he was not told any of this.
It was like, they're going to announce tonight what they do, which was they announced the match for next week rather than on the show. So that was that. I know that Tiffany's agent says that she was not injured.
Tiffany's agent, Nick Lopiccolo.
And that it was a timing.
Is Tiffy public with Paradigm and shit? If she's not, then she is now.
The timing issue that she was taken off the match on Tuesday for NXT.
And so Brian was told it was her agent, not Nick Khan. But then Brian misremembered. Brian, when he wrote it, or when they quoted him, or when he went on his own show, he misremembered. He just remembered the Nick part and then assumed Khan.
I am not arguing that point, because to me that is it could be true. But when was the last time? Because the thing is, it's not like the T-shirts that were.
What the fuck? What? Hold on. What am I missing?
The thing is, it's not like the T-shirts that were being sold in the building for the card had that match on the card. So it's not like some fantasy of, they changed, maybe they changed it a week ago. They didn't even shoot the angle until last week, okay? And I have seen, for a lot of shows, for WrestleManias and everything, I've seen, actual times. These times, and this is like the Thursday, the week before Mania.
Pro Wrestle Times, Brian.
Shorter, and the times that all the matches are going.
Oh, man, the gooberdom never ends. Oh, boy. Yeah, well, Brian I think he got mixed up with his people there. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. The latest on John Cena losing to Brock Lesnar. Dave says, I don't want to say it was John's idea. I don't want to say it was John's idea. You don't know if it was or not. But what I was basically told is, so were you basically told, or were you told this, or I don't understand. John is very unselfish, and he knows on the way out he wants to make people. He wants to make big stars, so he felt that it was his call, and that was his call. This is the worst Meltzer lie I've maybe ever seen.
Oh my God, it's the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Because he doesn't know, and then he make a big star. Bro, Brock is a fucking huge, ginormous star already. So what the fuck you talking about? a lot of guys, when they're on their way out, their call is to lose and to put the other guy over. And that was John's call. At the end of the day, it's Paul Levesque's call. But you just said it was John's call 14 times. But if John says that, it's not like Paul Levesque's going to go, no, you have to win, especially when Brock is the one staying and he's the one leaving and whatever they have planned for Brock, Bryan. What a goddamn moron. Speaking of moron, Dave, well, Meltzer said what? Calls out Dynamite Dave Lucha Libre Meltzer for being a dummy. And he says, I told you months ago that Dave decided that he was going to anoint Mystico as Wrestler of the Year to his trained seals of voters. And now here he is once again swaying his totally impartial voting process. And so, wrestlers ranked in the PWI 500, Drainmaker posts AEW New Japan CMLL wrestlers. And Moxley, Hangman, and Hiroki Goto are on the list. And Dave goes, it is what it is. Dude, it's a gimmicked list, and Dave is getting worked up over it like a baby ass. He's fucking sad about this. What it is. We'll only say this. We'll only say this. Writes a fucking paragraph. By their standards, hard to argue Mystico shouldn't be number one. Mystico number one, except he's not American. Very good in the ring. Actually, not the best, but but as far as being over and except winning matches, wrestles more than anyone. Almost always main event. Almost never loses. Wins clean far more than anyone. Held world titles in multiple companies. Didn't lose either in the ring. Won Opera Cup and other tournaments. I don't know if they consider drawing power, but that's a major plus for him. Dave thinks Mystico's more popular than Roman Reigns. He said that before. If you say Roman Reigns in a theater, no one knew who he was. No one would know. So this guy says, is he the front runner for the Flair Thez Award in my mind? He has to be either him or Moxley. Mystico or Moxley for the fucking Flair Thez Award. Dave goes, I think so. I see Moxley, Rhodes, Mystico, and Page as the only potential winners. Ospreay may win outstanding, but injury will keep him from the Thez Flair. Why would injury keep him from the Thez? Well, he didn't wrestle for 3 months, but he accumulated more 5 stars than anyone in the history of the business that you've ever given over the last 50 years. Dave is a restart, and it fucking drives me insane. I'm going fucking crazy, chat. So he goes, Storm and Kamatani and Sky couldn't place well as could Punk and Rollins, but I don't see any of them winning. Oh my god, fucking Mystico, bro. Shut up, Mystico. So Dynamite Dave is as subtle as a cockroach crawling across a white rug. And Meltzer said, what? Shout him out, man. He's always fucking sending me muy gold. And so here's a screen grab. Justin Wang says he didn't have enough matches to qualify. And so Meltzer goes, based on that criteria, actually, Mystico would have to be number one. Because they're talking about Rhodes hasn't wrestled enough. Well, based on that, actually, Mystico would have to be number one. Bro, it's a gimmicked list.
As a cockroach crawling.
It's so goddamn funny. Earlier in the show, I'm like, if the C grade or the PWI 500 or whatever the fuck triggers you, you're entering sicko wacko territory. Davis, you're triggered about this gimmicked list. It's a fake list based on kayfabe, but in kayfabe, Bryan. So an update has been, this is according to Bryan Alvarez, okay? He says there's a concern that it could be career-ending injury. And so basically, Piper Niven, we covered this earlier. We covered this actually on Member Monday. So make sure you become a member, 99 cents. You get access to bonus shows once a week. And also, it's typically on Monday. We talked about this. Piper Niven, best wishes, all of the best energies. But it could be career ending. It's like a neck thing. There's just so many rumors flying around. We'll find out. And I said it once and I'll say it again. Piper Niven will always have like a coaching role or something as well. Because this is the risk you run, but she is a good mind and she was sought after like in the indies and in the European scene and shit. So she's definitely somebody who you want to have on your roster in some capacity, even if that means behind the screen And I wonder who's going to join Chelsea Green's faction, but it's unfortunate that we have to go like, there's light at the end of this tunnel, I guess, right? Like, who's going to replace her? Let's get excited for that. It kind of feels shitty, but I don't know. I'm sure Piper just wants to get healthy and wants everybody to be sports entertained. So should AEW run more afternoon? We have some clips to finish off the show, okay? So let's start with this one. Meltzer said, what posts this clip? And he asks, have you ever seen a human being look and sound so defeated when discussing WWE's attendance and ticket revenue they're generating as Dynamite Dave does in this video? Let's take a look.
The attendance is good whether John Cena's on the show or not.
He sounds so angry whether he's on. I mean, even if John's not on the show, they're fucking crushing it.
They had a big, like, they're drawing people at higher ticket prices than ever before. The demand for tickets is the highest it's ever been.
Oh my God! You want to talk about the Mania ticket prices? We didn't talk about that.
Yeah.
So WrestleMania.
But if AEW was doing the same, he'd go, see, I told you so. They put WWE out of business. Tony Khan, the best guy. They're selling it for more and more, well, here's the problem. That poor people
don't like AEW.
What a dumb fuck, man.
Mania this year. If you want to buy,
he's just so sad about it. You think he'd be happy that wrestling's thriving and shit. Should AEW run more afternoon pay-per-views? Nick Khan, in his own weird way, did AEW a huge favor. So again, they're trying to spin this and gaslight their audience into thinking that Nick Khan and WWE did some service to AEW. How? The interest was down. The views were down. The YouTube views were down. The pay-per-view buys were down. The show was on earlier. No one gives a fuck. No one was talking about it on social media. All anyone was talking about was WrestlePalooza still, even in a negative way. It was just sickos crying about WWE. And then Cage Match, 18 people on Cage Match rated it a 90% or whatever. So, like, what are you guys talking about?
3 straight pay-per-views did good. 3 straight
pay-per-views did good. 3 straight pay-per-views. Dave, you're a fucking liar. Show us the pay-per-view numbers. He's lying about them. He's going to lie and say they're over 100,000. Meanwhile, we saw the YouTube numbers, which is a good way to indicate interest in something, right? So it doesn't mean it's precise and accurate. All Out had no buys.
Pay-per-views in the afternoon. This was a 6-hour show. That last hour of the show, which was the Page match, if you would start at the normal time, that's midnight to 1 a.m. And that's no fun.
Or just don't do that. Yeah, it's no fun anytime it's 6 hours. No wrestling show should be fucking 6 hours, bro.
You can go longer, and it's also better for you.
No, you can't go longer, Dave. You go longer because you're like, I'm going to set aside my whole fucking day for this.
And it's not so bad for the United States and Canada either, especially if there was no WWE show.
He's so in a bubble. It was so bad for everybody.
It really wouldn't have been that bad. Results are results. I'm pretty convinced now that they should be doing 3:00 Eastern starting time. You get the thing over by 9 or 8. I think it was over at 8. You get it over at 8. You got plenty of time to go out at night on a Saturday night or whatever.
Nobody, like, Dave is he doesn't exist in the real world. Nobody's watching AEW for 6 hours all day, then going out at night. Especially when WrestlePalooza's on, Dave. You're a dumbass. You're inventing shit that nobody fucking agrees with in your head, speaking it like it's fact, and then gaslighting your fucking audience into thinking what? They believe you? This is ridiculous.
Whereas if you do the thing from 8 to 1, it's
like he's pretending that people, you can watch AEW, then just go out. Why would you watch WrestlePalooza? Are you fucking stupid, bro? More people are watching WrestlePalooza. More people watch WrestlePalooza. Oh, you can just, go out after. Nobody's watching AEW all day, then going out after, Dave. They're going to fucking buy that pay-per-view or watch it after. They're going to watch WrestlePalooza live before AEW. He's acting like he speaks as though AEW is more popular than WWE. It's insane.
Plenty of time to go out at night on a Saturday night or whatever. It's not, whereas if you do the thing from 8 to 1, it's, it gets really tiring. I think Nick Khan, in his own weird way, did them a huge favor by moving them to the afternoon. There's a lot of advantages.
How is it a huge favor? Did the attendance go up? Nope. Did the sales go up? Nope. Were the cage match ratings the same? Yep. Did you glaze its balls like you fucking always do? Yep. So like what is the huge advantage? Oh, it's a huge advantage for me and my work. What a fucking clown shoes, man. So Dave Meltzer, speaking of clown shoes, he goes, Will Ospreay's surgery was a success. Can he be back for Wembley? So this guy just got neck surgery, fucking ended his goddamn career almost, might not be able to wrestle again, at least not in the way he did. Dave gave him more 5 stars than ever. Then Dave's begging him, oh, please work a Roman Reigns, a slower style. I'll do it better than anyone in the world. Ospreay. And now he wants this guy after this brutal neck surgery. Oh, hopefully he can make it back in Wembley in time for Wembley. Dave is the ultimate sicko. He's fucked up in the brain, and he doesn't care about these wrestlers. Okay, I care about these wrestlers way more than Dave does.
Will Ospreay had his neck surgery. He tweeted about it.
He had the surgery. The surgery was a success, and it's a waiting game. You know, that's all it is. I mean, we don't know. You know, he's going to have to rest for a while. Then he's going to have to start, you know, training. You know, it's again, no timetable, but likely a year plus.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm sure his target would be Wembley next year. That's 11 months, which I think is, I don't know about. I mean, I don't know about that one.
Will Ospreay?
Dave just would come in his pants if he made it back in time for Wembley. So here is Dave Meltzer's take on the Tate twins accusing Tony Khan of pulling the Outrunners from an independent show. So let's hear what fucking Dusty Dave has to say about this. I went off on this earlier in the show.
What's up with the Tate twins and the Outrunners?
So the Tate twins, who are suing AEW, were booked on an independent match in Kentucky against the Outrunners. And they claim that Tony Khan pulled the Outrunners from the date, and the show, in fact, has been canceled because the Outrunners were pulled from the show. And I guess the promoters felt without them.
So that's very Tony McConish, right? So call it out, Dave. Call it the fuck out.
Runners were pulled from the show, and I guess the promoters felt without them, it wasn't going to be a successful event, and they couldn't replace them. So they were very much complaining about that. It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, if you're Tony Khan and you're being sued by the Tate twins, you probably don't want your talent to be working with them on an independent show. But
right, but here's the thing, man. If Vince was doing this, you guys would be crying about it. It's just bullshit, you know. They say they're all about the indies, Bryan. Okay, that's what Tony Khan said as well. And that's what the Tates are suing them over. And again, you're just going to make excuses for Tony Khan when it's very Vince-ish. And here's the thing. It is Tony's well within his right to do this, but a whole show got canceled. Where's the doom and gloom? If WWE got a whole show canceled, everyone would melt the fuck down in the IWC because of you, Dave.
An independent show, but you know, that's what they claim. And, you know, I haven't heard anything from anybody else, but it is
the fucking hair dye's leaking into his face.
I haven't heard anything from anybody else, but
the fucking fumes, dude.
It is a believable assertion.
What's up with the Tate?
It is well, at least he says it's a believable assertion. But again, it's a believable assertion. A believable assertion, dude. Not like, yeah, it seems if it was Vince, he'd be like, if it was Triple H, it's pretty cut and dry, Bryan. Case closed. Here it's just an assertion. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Dave Meltzer's dumb moment of the week.